Hey everybody, welcome to another AMA. I think this is number 35, the 35th AMA we've done. I'm here with Corbins. We're going to answer a bunch of questions. We're going to have a good time. Let's go.
Question number one, why does it always feel like Rec Room ignores its most universally agreed upon issues? Examples, allowing the flood of slop content with minimal punishment being taken. As if there truly were meaningful consequences, the issues would have subsided.
Well, thank you for the question. I actually hear three questions here, so I'm gonna hit them one by one. So first of all, I would say, universally agreed upon issues. I think that's a tough one because I think the truth is, we've got a lot of players on a lot of different devices who do a lot of different things. And I'm not sure there really is universally agreed upon issues. Like everyone's got their number one issues. And I know the one you raise about, spam rooms is a hot button issue. A lot of people do care about that. So I'm not saying that's not a big issue. But yeah, universally agreed upon, just, be careful with that. Like, man, we get a lot of different feedback from a lot of different places. So just be aware of that. The second thing is we don't ignore it. We really do our best to listen to everyone. That's why we do things like these AMAs. That's why, a bunch of the people who work on Rec Room are really active on the Discord and on the socials. We do our best to listen. I know we don't always deliver what people want. And man, we always wish we could do more. But we're not ignoring it, because we're like, ha, we don't care. It's just like, man, we got a lot of stuff going on. It's really tough to prioritize everything. We really do our best and we really do listen. But then the third thing, so the specific issue you mentioned, which is the spam rooms or low effort rooms. Yeah, we hear you on that. This is kind of an ongoing sort of pendulum seesaw kind of battle that we're going through. Because on the one hand, what we want is, if you're a creator in Rec Room, I think what you want is like you want to make a room and you want to have a good shot of getting that room seen, which means you've got to have a good shot of getting it into the top charts and having people play it and have fun with it. And we want that as well. But on the other hand, balancing the discovery, there's always more rooms than we can put in like the top 100 rooms, right? Or can rise to the top 100 rooms. And so, it's always a balance of like, hey, how do we tune that so we're getting enough new rooms into the top 100 without allowing sort of some of the more low effort rooms? Part of that, back in August, we rolled out the 3 strikes policy. So that's, only as recently as August, we did the 3 strikes policy. I think that's been reasonably effective, although we've definitely seen an uptick in low effort rooms recently. But yeah, just recently, I think we pulled off like 80 spam rooms and actioned about 13 creators under the I've shocked Corbins and moderated about 13 creators under Creative Code of Conduct. So we are definitely putting effort in here. I think you'll see it kind of blow hot and cold as we adjust the as we adjust the algorithms. But yeah, hear the feedback. We're definitely not ignoring it. What we want is we want to see a really dynamic top 100 with really great rooms in it. That's what we're trying to optimize for. All right, hopefully that answers the question.
All right, question 2. Mm-hmm. Where did the friend Otron go?
Where? Oh, where? Where did the Friendotron go? So look, it's a temporary removal. The Friendotron will be back. We had to remove it due to a technical issue. Kind of a long story. Don't worry about it. Friendotron is coming back, but yeah, just temporary absence.
Question number 3. Can you guys please remove these low effort rooms that keep filling the hot page? All these escape rooms, like Escape Eminem or something, have been flooding the hot page and making actual decent rooms get little to no visits. It's scummy and makes the community that is over the age of 11 look bad.
Scummy. Wow.
Yeah,
harsh feedback.
All right.
Okay. I think we kind of covered this one in the first question. We talked about the 3 strikes policy. We actually have been ramping that up recently. Like I said, we just removed a bunch of rooms. We just moderated a bunch of creators under Creative Code of Conduct. We're going to continue to put effort in here. Like I said, we're trying to strike that balance of we want new and newly updated rooms to have a really good chance to get into the top 100 if people like them, if people are playing them. But that comes at the risk of low effort rooms kind of flooding the list. And so it's a tough balance to strike, but we will keep tinkering with it till we get it right. So thank you for the feedback.
Question 4. It's frustrating to see highly anticipated features be slowly and painfully rolled out through split test that only a small percentage of the player base can access. It's even more frustrating when some split tests forced upon us actively make the user experience worse. I understand that split tests are a necessary evil as data collection is important, but has there at least been any discussion about making them more user-friendly and transparent? At the very least, we should be able to opt out of certain tests, and we should be able to see the split tests our account is opted into and what each of them does.
Yeah, split tests are interesting. So, the reason we do them, I'm sure you understand, because you said, hey, you understand they're a necessary evil, but just for people who don't know what a split test is. So a split test is, hey, we've got, 100% of Rec Room players, and sometimes when we want to try something new, rather than just roll it out immediately to 100% of players, which is what we used to do back in the day. We would always do that. What we've been doing for the last couple of years increasingly is when we're doing a new thing, we'll roll it out to like 10% of the players first, and we'll just keep an eye on it for a couple of weeks. How are people reacting to it? How is the usage affected? Are we seeing an increase in crash rate? Are we seeing any kind of negative impacts? And we just kind of like build some confidence that way. And sometimes we learn about the feature and we iterate on it a couple of times before we roll it out to 100%. And sometimes we do a split test experiment. We roll something out and we find from that 10% that people really don't like it. Like they respond badly to it. They just don't play as much as they used to, or whatever it is, right? They don't go to as many rooms. And so we're like, that was a bad change. We'll do something else. So I understand that can be a bit confusing. We see it on the forum. Sometimes people are like, what is this? I'm not seeing that. It creates some confusion. So for that reason, we try and keep the split tests pretty short. We try and keep them to a couple of weeks, and then we either ship the new thing or we ship the way it used to be. So yeah, the reason we do it is that, like I said, we used to roll things out to 100%. And what we learned over time is, as Rec Room got bigger and more complicated and was on more platforms and was just more complicated, had more features, we found we were often having negative impacts on the game. Like we were making the frame rate way worse, we were making the crash rate way worse, or having other negative impacts. And we just kind of burned our fingers on that stove too many times. And so now we're a lot more careful and we kind of roll things out incrementally. I know that can be a little confusing, especially if it's a feature you want and you're not in the split test. So I apologize for that frustration. And yeah, the one we did have a test recently where we capped the frame rate very temporarily. This is a very time limited thing. Yeah, man, that one's borderline for me too. And you won't see us doing stuff like that very often, or if at all. But we do that for a good reason. Like, we're aware that we have some frame rate challenges on the game. Performance is not where we want it to be, especially with the UI and stuff like that. So we want to make that better. And to do that, we have to do some experiments. We have to learn, when we make some changes. And weird as it sounds, like that experiment where we capped the frame rate briefly for some people was a way of learning the way the systems work. And the goal there is actually to make it better for everyone in the long term based on what we learned. So I hear the feedback. It's kind of a delicate subject, but yeah, like that's the reason we do it. It's to learn. It's to make sure we're not making things worse accidentally as we try and ship out improvements. As for like showing what split tests you're in and letting you opt out, I'm not the world's most sophisticated data guy. I'm just a game designer. I don't know what I'm talking about mostly. But I think, look, there's already enough complexity in analyzing the experiment results without having people aware of the experiments and opting themselves in and out and all that kind of thing. It just makes everything really, really complicated. And, for example, most apps that you use these days, or at least many, many apps that you use on your phone or whatever, they all do this. They all split test apps. And I'm not aware of any that let you see which tests you're enrolled in and let you opt yourself out. Educate me if I'm wrong, please. So I don't think we're going to do that. It just makes everything too complicated. What I think we will do is just really try and keep the split tests as tight as possible, just enough to learn what we need to learn. And obviously, if we've rolled something out and it's seeing really positive feedback and really positive results from the test, we want to get that into everyone's hands as quick as we can because it makes the game better. So yeah, like you said, it is necessary. I don't know if it's evil, but look, I understand that it can be a frustrating experience if you're on the wrong side of a split test that you don't want to be on. But we'll keep them brief. But it is how we make the game better incrementally over time. So hopefully that makes sense. Nice. I had to sneeze for that whole answer. Oh my god. Woo, there it was. Yeah.
Question number 5. Any update on weekly challenges or any form of new challenge system? The games have gotten much more boring in my opinion since you don't have anything of value. Wow. Weapon skins. To work for anymore. Sure, there's daily challenges, but those only give you the chance of earning tokens with 90% of what you get being consumables and food. What do you guys plan to do with that area in the rec center where that rec.net photo slideshow was? It's just been empty for a long time with no real announcement with what you guys plan to do with it after it was removed.
Okay, so I hear 2 questions there. One on things like weekly challenges and one on the slideshow area in the rec center. Let me go backwards. So the slideshow, yeah, we pulled out that slideshow for policy reasons. We had to remove that. We don't have any plans to bring it back. But what we do have plans to do is, and I've been saying this for years, so man, like this answer is going to be like one of those ones where I'm like, man, we really want to do these things. So like, it's been on the list for a long time to really give the rec center a fresh coat of paint. And so I think rather than bring back the rather than bring back that slideshow, I think we'll hold and we'll invest in improving the rec center in a more kind of comprehensive way rather than bring that back. So stay tuned. Don't have any specific announcements, but that's something we want to get to. Same with the weekly challenges. Like I think, when we talk about this internally, I know removing the weekly challenges was very controversial. Going back to that first question, hey, why do you ignore us? Man, we heard the feedback for sure. Like, we definitely listened and heard from people telling us about that. But as I said at the time, we really felt like we weren't able to do a good job of maintaining that system. It wasn't getting the love that it needed. It wasn't evolving. It wasn't growing in any way. And so we opted to remove it rather than like just have a system that we really, really weren't able to invest in and maintain. That's kind of still where we are. We just, I think, internally when we talk about it, I think we all agree that the best version of Rec Room has that kind of a system built into it. So, players who really like to play that way have something really concrete to work towards. I think we do want to see that. But we're just not in a position to do a good job of it. We got too many other things that we need to do first. So I wouldn't hold your breath for weeklies coming back, or anything in that form, at least not right now. Like I said before, we do have rooms with progression in them. We do have rooms with things you can earn in them. And I think you'll see us invest in-room progression and in-room rewards, sooner than a kind of global app-wide system. But on the desire, we're with you. If I could wave a magic wand and bring it back, just for free, what I mean is without having to put people on the team on it because we got other stuff to do, I'd do it. I think it'd be really cool to have that back in a really cool and evolved form. But for the time being, no plans to re-add.
Question number 6. Number 6. Will it ever be possible to make weapons fire like they do in Rec Royale in custom rooms, and to have copies of the Rec Royale map? This would greatly improve the lives of us Rec Royale players. Or League players. My bad.
League players, yeah. All right, shout out to the Rec Royale League players. So copies of the map, no, we're not going to do that. Just not something we can support at this time. That map was not designed with copyability in mind. It's a pretty heavy list for us to make Run the Block fully copyable. So moving forward, we'll make everything copyable, but man, it's really a heavy lift to go back and make something like Rec Royale copyable, much as we'd love to, but no, sorry. On the guns, I'd be really curious to know, and maybe some of the kind of community folks can follow up and get some more information here, because I'm curious to know exactly what type of customization you're looking for, because the goal would be absolutely you can make guns like that in a custom room, for sure. We definitely want that. So I'm probably a little bit out of the loop on exactly what features are missing. I'm guessing it's something pretty nuanced. But we do have the gun handle, the projectile launcher as UGC, in the pallet components that you can use. And in theory, I think you should be able to recreate the Rec Royale guns with those. That's certainly the goal. So if there are specific features missing, I'd love to hear about them, and we'll go look at that. I think that is something that we likely can invest in.
Question number 7. Will Rec Room ever have full game events like League of Heroes anytime soon? It feels like all events there have been lately are either just a storefront or a short game with a brand deal. I just think it'd be more fun if there was just an event where the developers were allowed to go all out with a board theme. Or my bad.
Yeah.
A
broad
yeah,
thing?
a broad. I don't know why I saw a board. I was thinking a board game.
A board thing. It's gonna be like going to a board meeting. We're gonna all sit around a table and we're gonna talk about money. All right, so no, I'm being all right. Yes, a broad theme. Yeah, no, I think it'd be cool. Like League of Heroes was pretty fun. And I think it's fair to say like most of our efforts in this direction have been associated with brand partnerships. This is kind of similar to my answer on the weekly challenges. I think it's true. Like I think the ideal version of Rec Room has this kind of thing happening regularly. We're just trying to get to a place where we've got we can pay attention to it. We just don't have the people to put on it right now. But we'd love for it to happen. So I think you will see it happen. You asked if it would happen soon. I don't think so. I think the next kind of thing in this direction is likely to be overhauls to the rec center, because I think that's been on our list a long time. We kind of think of the rec center as a good place for these kind of things to happen. So I think we want to get the rec center in a better state and kind of set the stage for this kind of thing. So yeah, not soon, but we do agree it'd be a cool thing to have for sure.
Question number 8. Any chance of actually fixing the lag from the 2D UI that was supposed to be in a quote-unquote improvement from the old UI? Bit ridiculous that it's been 3 years since it's got added, and yet it's still a piece of crap. Wow.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, look, we hear you. We've been pretty frustrated with the UI performance. I think I've talked about this in prior AMAs. I know the team understands and is working hard on it, and has some actually really good tech coming that's improving things. Some of that has rolled out. I think there has actually been some improvements. The UI is a little better than it was, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Still not good enough. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. But they have some pretty good stuff coming in Q1. They're working super hard on this. Not saying it's going to magically make everything perfect overnight, but I think you'll see continual improvement on this. Man, we will not rest on this one until it is just absolutely a no-brainer to use the UI. It's not painful on any platform. We know it's not good enough. We're not happy with it either. But yes, we are working on it. Expect more improvements in Q1, and we're just going to keep pushing.
Question number 9. Why is the Rec Center so bland than it was 2 years ago? Looking back when Rec Room did a collab or a special event like the NBA collab or the Amazing Superhero thing, the entire Rec Center was just decked out and it was pretty fun. I don't really understand the fact that nowadays, looking into it, the Rec Center is just really bland. Only redesigns. You get it just for the storefront or just to go into a ring?
Okay, so first of all, you're bland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey, they started it, okay?
Yeah, they
You know
did.
what? You're bland.
Yeah, you're bland.
All right, no, that's okay. Okay, I'm fine. No. I'm just being an idiot. Hey, actually, Corbin, if I say this, I want to see if you know what this means. If I say number 9, do you know what that means?
I don't.
Okay. So the rec center, yeah. So I think I just talked about this in the previous question. We definitely think the rec center is overdue an overhaul. Some of the reasons we haven't been customizing it heavily has just been keeping the frame rate up, keeping the memory good, because, our performance has not been great over the last, 18 months. I've talked about this in previous AMAs. We've been putting a lot of effort into getting the crash rate down. We've got a lot of efforts ongoing, getting the frame rate up for the UI and for just in the game generally. We're just going to keep pushing on that. And the reason I keep saying things like, oh, why aren't we doing challenges? Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? Some of it is just because we want to focus on getting the just fundamental performance of the app up. So the rec center, yeah, like I said, it's definitely high on our list to kind of start investing in an overhaul there. But, part of the reason is we just have really been conservative with the rec center decorations just to kind of make sure performance is good for everybody. But yeah, I hope 2025 we see the rec center take a big step forward. So thank you for that feedback.
Nice. Also, the number 9 thing, was that a Beatles thing?
Hey!
Yeah, okay, cool.
Look at
Just
you, buddy.
yeah.
Look at you, yeah. All right. Yeah, yes, it was. I grew up with that record as a kid. and I would listen to it, and that's stuck in my head. It just always in the back of my head. It's like number nine, number nine. Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Here, I'm gonna light the Yule log. Do 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 do. Oh Jesus! I'm fine. It's all good. You know, this room's pretty cool. I think you'll love it. Huh?
The chickens are laughing.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so question number 10. After updating Crescendo to make it optimized for all devices, it has really set the bar for performance in Rec Room, and even VR games as a whole. I know in the past it's been iterated that old Rec Room originals likely won't be getting updates, but seeing the changes you've made to Crescendo to make it run extremely well, do you guys have any plans that add optimizations to other ROs, such as other tests, individual maps of games like paintball, etc.?
First of all, thank you for the kind words. That's very nice to hear. Second of all, man, that was a real passion project for the team, you know, based on community feedback. You know, going all the way back to that first question, hey, you never listened to us. We do try. And, you know, a lot of people on the Quest wanted to play Crescendo. We wanted to bring it to them. And really, it was the team's passion that brought that to you. So kudos to them. But yeah, like, so the way, you know, all of the old ROs, the way they're built is very, very kind of just bespoke, you know, kind of handcrafted. And so there's like really kind of just, you know, they just kind of went in and optimized the content. We can't afford to do that for all of the other ROs, unfortunately, because our focus is really on getting the creation platform to have that kind of performance natively. In fact, we've kind of been saying that one of our key goals for next year is just, man, we want any UGC room, any community created room to just automatically perform that well, no matter what platform you're on. That's kind of our goal. So yeah, I don't think you'll go and see us hand optimize the other ROs the way we did Crescendo, but I'm glad that it's performing well for you and that you're enjoying it.
Question 11. In terms of updating both full body avatars and the new Bean avatars, how close are we to seeing new body adjustments, sliders/settings? When will full body avatars be out of beta? It's been quite a few months, and I think they're still listed as being beta within the watch customization menu.
So I think the answer to both of those questions is soon. I know the team's working on the additional customization for the full body. And I'm expecting that they'll remove all of that beta branding, you know, as that kind of rolls out. So I think, you know, in the next couple of months, you'll see all of that stuff cleaned up. That's my understanding.
So, question 12. You said you would completely remove the old Bean, but the new Bean behaves terribly for short people. I do not use seated mode when I sit on my couch because it makes me motion sick when I bend or reach down and the game tries to fix my height. But I hate how slouched over the new Bean looks when I am playing while sitting. Seeing the new Bean bend when it does not have any limbs feels weird in general. I've actually seen videos of the Bean bending. It looks funny.
Yeah. So look, I think, all right, so great feedback. I think in the next update, there is more improvements to the seated behavior for the new Bean and for that kind of crumpling up problem. We really want to make that work right for everybody. So please keep giving us feedback. We'll keep iterating on it until you're satisfied. You know, I think generally speaking, the new Beans are getting there. Like, this is a new Bean. I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, there are some specific issues like, you know, seated mode. If you're a shorter stature, you know, whatever the issues may be, we really care about getting everyone comfortable with the new Bean, because I do want to reiterate, our goal is to retire the old Bean. The old Bean, much as we love it, you know, obviously, you know, it's our classic avatar. We have nothing but love for the old Bean. But man, from a technical perspective, it's expensive. It's really hard to maintain. Our poor QA currently has to test 3 different avatar systems, you know, full body, new Bean, old Bean. It's just kind of crazy town. So we really do need to get to a point where we can turn off the old Beans, but that means that you have to be happy with the new Beans. So this kind of nuanced feedback is really important. And, you know, for a bunch of these questions, I've kind of said, you know, hey, yeah, we hear you. We'll work on that when we can. We'll get there eventually. But for this one, we are very much actively working on it. We will make this better for you.
Okay, question number 13. Will Quest 3 get better graphics / lighting?
Yeah, actually, the team's working on that. We're in a Quest 3 right now to film this AMA with you, Corbins. And yeah, they told me some rendering improvements are coming, hopefully, you know, in the first quarter of next year. So that's January, February, or March. So yeah, hopefully some improvements coming for Quest 3 soon, TM.
Rec Room OST 4 win.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so first of all, yes, we definitely want to get the more recent music up on Spotify. Oh my God, this thing's freaking me out. Oh my God. God. Okay, all right, we'll get through this. Here, we should. Oh my God, I think Corbin's. We got to get off so I can answer this question.
All right.
This is killing me.
Rec Room OST 4 win? Question mark.
Yeah. Good question. Okay, so this question's about the Rec Room official soundtrack. So we got 3 volumes of the soundtrack up on Spotify. Now, some of you may not realize, back in the day, for all of the early ROs and stuff, Gribbly, was actually the composer for the game. But as the game got bigger and, we kind of like on more platforms, I got busier and busier. And we brought in the amazing Chasuya. I hope I'm saying your game name right there. Chasuya. I realized I've only really read it. I don't think I've ever really said it. Anyway, he's an amazing composer. We've worked together for many, many years. He's incredible. And he's been doing all of the recent music, including the super cool Run the Block music that just came out, was all him. And so obviously people want that music on Spotify as well. So we'll figure that out. The weird thing is, I had an old Gribbly, because Gribbly is like, been my online name since well before Rec Room. This was my Quake name in the 90s. That's how old I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I've said that before in an AMA with Harry. I think I've explained that Gribbly's just been my online name forever. And so I have Gribbly, the artist, on Spotify, and so I just put all the music up on Spotify under Gribbly. So it doesn't kind of really make sense to put Chasuya's music up under my artist name. So we got to figure out, we're either going to do it as Chasuya, or maybe we'll make a Rec Room account. I don't know. We haven't figured it out, but we do want to get it up there. Chasuya X Gribbly. All right. So we'll figure it out. But hey, I'm just glad people are enjoying Chasuya's music. He's really awesome. He makes amazing stuff. And yeah, really delighted by his contributions to the recent Rec Room games. Also,
shout out the DJ on Run the Block. He's the best DJ. He makes the game.
It kind of really brings down the brings down the energy. Run the Block would have been so cool if it wasn't for that voiceover.
Wow. I feel like the DJ makes Run the Block. As soon as you walk into there, mwah.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Well, oh, by the way, Corbins, can I just get excited about something? So it was the Game Awards recently. Some of you may remember this from previous AMAs, but Gribbly here, one of his favorite video games of all time is the Virtua Fighter series. And they just announced a new one, Virtua Fighter 6. It's coming. Yeah. So this is very exciting. So any fellow Gen X Virtua Fighter fans like me, get excited because it's coming.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with Rec Room or the AMA. I'm just excited about it.
Also,
it's like my Christmas present.
There is an appearance by Kevin, like the Goblin, in the Game Awards, because he was actually there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. There's a picture right above here. There he is, right there. He's just chilling. Yeah. Wow. The Game Awards.
I love it.
Final question 15. Can you please let me keep a mousebot as a pet? I love them.
No. All right, thanks for coming to the AMA. No, those things are explosive. You can't have a mousebot as a pet. What are you, crazy? Yeah. All right, I think we did it. We did it. All right. Well, look, I just want to say thank you for the questions, everybody. We really enjoyed doing these AMAs, even though I have to do it with Corbin's. I really appreciate the questions. I really appreciate the feedback. Corbin's, I'm just kidding. I love you. Thank you for helping. Thanks. Look, thank you for playing Rec Room this year. We love you all. We hope to see you in the new year. We'll do more of these AMAs next year. We got a really exciting 2025 queued up. Lots of really great stuff in progress for the game. So thanks for a great 2024. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all of that good stuff. We'll see you next year.
See you next year.